So we switch from air pollution to methodology. So we speak about a new concept to test, to evaluate the biodegradability of substance, chemical substances that are used mainly, of course, we know that in Europe, and following the REACH regulation, many standard tests are used, are proposed. They are time-consuming, sometimes expensive, up to 2,000 euros, and they suffer sometimes from modification due to activated sludge activity. So the idea was to use another possibility to classify substances, chemical substances, by using representative microorganisms from activated sludge, for example. This is the main inoculum used in standard tests, but not to be concurrent with current standard tests, because they are important, of course, but to be finally complementary to that. The idea was to use one strain per inside a miniaturized test microplate with an oxygen sensor spot, in which you have one strain, and each strain is able to respirate or not with a substance as a sole carbon source. And the way would be to classify between the bin 1, that is easy biodegradability, bin 2 or bin 3. Bin 3 is recalcitrant. So to be clear, the question is there any relationship between the number of strains you use that are able to use the substances and the bin, that is easy biodegradable or persistent? How did we do for that? We first go to the literature, in which you can see the standard or the average microdiversity of inoculum from activated sludge. So you can see there is 55% of proteobacteria, 12 Firmicutes, actinobacteria, Bacteroidetes. We bought a lot of strains from data banks all over the world. And we tested these strains in order to know if they are pathogenic, if they are easy to produce with a high growth rate, and of course, if they are robust in order to be freeze-dried. So thanks to that, many work after, we chose 44 strains that constitute our microbial array, in which we are able to have something close to the initial inoculum with 59% of proteobacteria, 16 Firmicutes, and with much more actinobacteria, but it was difficult to have Bacteroidetes in our test. So this is a final microbial array with the 44 strain. I spot on the Firmicute, on the proteobacteria, sorry, and you can see that, in order to be clear, each strain is in one well. So one well is able to have or not respiration with the substance. You have there the pattern for sodium benzoate. 27 strain was able, over 44, was able to use the substances. But the platform we used, it is important to know you have the kinetics there for each of the strain. For sodium benzoate, you can see that there is a competition between consumption of the substance, because the bacteria is able to use the substance, or the diffusion of oxygen. So you have to try methods to distinguish between the control and the assay. You have all of the data for 30 substances, for bin 1 from literature to bin 3, recalcitrant. And we have now a clear, finally, response, number of strains that are able to use all the substances. For example, hexanediol are used by about 55% of the strain of the panel, to 0 for polyethylene glycol. Here I present the result for all the strains. For example, hexanediol are used by many of the bacteria. And you can see that the bacteria are used, the substance is used when you have a black square. Some bacteria are able to use many substances, a broad range of ability to use the substance, Agrobacterium, Proteus mirabilis, etc., Pseudomonas, of course. And sometimes other strains are not able to use the substance. It is the case of Zooglea, for example. So this is a pattern for all the substances. And in this figure, you have all the data. One spot is one substances, and you have the number of strains that are able to use the substance, and you have the bin, considered by the literature of the substance. Between bin 1 and bin 3, you have a clear differences between the two groups. You have quite overlap with bin 2 and bin 1, and it is less evident from bin 1 to bin 3. Bin 2, sorry, to bin 3. That is to say that we need to have a threshold level, a security level, I would say, a security level in which you will consider only in substance in a bin 1, only if you have at least 27% of the bacteria that are able to use the substance. You have a clear 7 to 8% in this area. You can know, it is not visible, where you cannot say it is bin 1 or bin 2, it is an overlap. From 20 to 6, you have the bin 2, and lower that, you will have the bin 3. So it is all the results with the number of strains, the number of bacteria, the known bin from literature, and the predicted bin from the test. Bin 1 are bin 1 for 92% of the molecules. It is good. Hopefully, bin 3 remain bin 3. At 100%, when there was a bin 3, it is bin 3. So the classification was good. It was more difficult for bin 2 because you have overlap in this way. Because you have over-classification, we say that with the test is bin 3, while the literature says it is bin 2, so it is the case. So remember that you have an overlap in one space of the figures. For example, you have problem when you have not enough information for literature, because you have bin 1 or 2 for carnitine, and we say it is bin 2. And for anthraquinone, we have only one publication for that, in which it says it is bin 1, so easily biodegradable, while we do not find something more than 3 bacteria that was able to use the substance. So it is biodegradable, but not enough, so it is bin 3. So in conclusion, we would say that it was, the question was, is there any possibility to classify a substance thanks to the number of strains that use the substance? Yes, it is possible. Easily able to say yes for bin 1. For bin 3 also, you have some overlap with bin 2. The classification may be more difficult for bin 2. Bin 2 is substance that need to have specific biodegraders inside the inoculum. So sometimes it is difficult to find them because it is a problem of probability to have them. And sometimes it is a problem of literature to find the information about finally the bin. We may improve the system with, by increasing the number of bacteria inside our microplate, using kinetics, because you have many data about kinetics parameters, and you have the problem, of course, of CLIT platform that may be over-expressed. And extension, okay, you are waiting for river water, seawater, and soil to have the same platform. So thank you for your attention. I would like to thank L'Oréal for the help, for funding, and my colleagues, Michael Crégu, Marie-Josée Durand, and my colleague from L'Oréal. So thank you.